Welcome to Truths, Proofs, and Firewater Reviews. I'm Lindsey and this is John, risking his liver to discover new whiskeys. We base our reviews on a 25-point scale, 5 points on the nose, 10 on the palate, 5 on the finish, and 5 points combined for the bottle and color of the juice. Now on to the review. I'm really excited for you to critique this one.
This has some oak to it. Oak and vanilla are the strongest smells on this.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little pecan too. A little buttery, nutty.
Okay.
It's kind of like butter pecan ice cream. You got that vanilla, that buttery, and that nutty.
Make me want some ice cream.
It's a little perfumey, floral. A little baking spice. Like a clove, maybe? What other baking spices are there? Cardamom, star.
Bananas.
Ton of stuff. I don't know. Some apple in there, which is light fruit. I can't get anything else
Just
on the fruit.
Fruity vanilla.
Apple, vanilla.
Okay.
Everything is very soft on the nose. Very typical smelling bourbon. After a little bit, caramel opens up and it gets a little sweeter with some airtime. I give it a 3.5. It smells pretty good.
Okay.
Not blown away by it. Taste continues very soft. Easy sipper. Cinnamon and clove I did get on the taste for sure. It coats the tongue and that little bit of spiciness on there. Vanilla, oak, and leather. A little bit of char. Some rye aftertaste in the back. It's pretty good. It has a lot of notes for me and what I'm thinking is under 100 proof. I give it a 7 out of 10. That's a good sipper. Not a mixer. I could drink this neat. Now the finish is medium to long. Feels long for the proof. And it's definitely lower. That nice spicy mouthfeel. The rye, oak, and char does stick around. And fades pretty slowly. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Everything's just a little above middle of the road.
Okay.
Now the look has like a honey color to it. It's a little light. Ton of legs though. They form and they just stay there.
Makes your glass almost look rippled.
Yeah, they start fast and then they just stay there. The streams just stick there and they didn't go away. That's kind of interesting. So I give it a 2.
Okay. So what do you think the proof is?
I got 95 to 100.
Do you have any guesses of what it might be?
Nope. We have too much stuff for me to guess anymore. Hundreds of bottles. We're probably around 200 by now.
Probably. I'll let you brought home.
Oh.
Blade and bow.
Honestly, a little disappointed. I thought I liked it a little bit better than that.
Well, clearly you did. You drank half a bottle on vacation.
We did that on one day. I did that on one day. As I dominated in Monopoly.
You better calm down.
Hey, they were like, do you want to play? I was like, eh. Little did they know I've never lost Monopoly. Still haven't.
This dude. Anyway.
Blade and bow. So we got key number 1, right?
We sure did. Which
and
is
they have 5 keys.
Cool because it's our first bottle.
Yeah. Not sold here in Michigan, so it's another bottle we got on vacation.
So they put the keys on to symbolize the 5 keys that used to hang on the door of the distillery.
Of stitzel-weller.
I was gonna slaughter Stitzel because, you know,
because you've been drinking.
Yeah.
You're awful red.
So it's 91 proof. Its mash bill and age statement is not disclosed. They're pretty hush hush about it for the most part. They only offer Blade and Bow 22 years. So they've just got the 2 offerings, which
It's
I mean,
made
it's
by
not bad, yeah.
Stitzel-weller. This only came out like a year or two ago.
2019 was their first release.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
I'm
good.
sorry. April of 2018 was the first year it was released.
It's pretty good. It's made by Stitzel-weller Distilling, which is owned by Diageo, which is where Bullet is now. So Bullet, I guess, is behind it. So it is Solera. That means some of the juice is actually, a very tiny fraction of the juice is still Stitzel-weller, which is highly sought after. That's kind of their unique story. Which
So
they are
from,
in the old Stitzel-weller building, so it's kind of cool.
It says that they some of the juice that's blended with these is from 1992.
Mm-hmm.
As far back as 1992. So
Solera means that every barrel they dump, they just save a tiny bit and mix it into the next batch.
That's pretty cool, though. I like the technique. So this one's kind of interesting. There's a little story along all the different sides of the bottle. So the first key, it says, inspired by the historic Stitzel-weller distillery, established in 1935 in Louisville, Kentucky, renowned home of the world's finest bourbons. Crafted with careful selected straight bourbon whiskeys, including the last remaining bourbon ever produced by Stitzel-weller. The 5 keys of Blade and Bow once hung on the front door of the iconic Stitzel-weller distillery. These heavy brass keys represented the 5 steps of crafting bourbon and symbolized the art of making the world's finest whiskeys. Aged in charred American white oak barrels to create a whiskey with notes of sweet toasted cereal, warm winter spice, and dried fruit. You got that. Matured using the rigorous Solera aging method, preserving our rarest whiskey stocks in the spirit of Stitzel-weller. So
I have a thing for little knickknacks that you get with whiskey. So we paid $50 for it. I'm happy. Yeah. 52.
We'll keep trying to find it and collect all 5 keys eventually.
It's got an odd shaped bottle. It's a hexagon, but it's not an equal hexagon. I don't know if there's a word for that. Like these sides are equal and then the front and back are fatter.
Which I think makes it even cooler.
It just makes it look kind of classy.
Honestly, I think this is probably my top 5 bottles.
I'd say top 10 for me, but yeah, it's nice.
Like the little notes with all the keys, the different sides, the label, the key itself. I love the royal blue and gold. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
I think it's a little young. The color looks a little nicer in the bottle.
Yeah.
I would love to try their 22 year. That might be a little out of my age range. Hopefully they put out more products. What?
How much did that go?
No idea.
I don't want to know.
Do you?
I'll look it up.
That's okay. So, I might just put the note up here. Like right above your head. I gotta cover up my notes. You know that's gonna be the cover photo now. You doing something stupid.
So the 5 keys stand for the 5 stages of bourbon, making bourbon: grains, yeast, fermentation, distillation, and aging.
So we got the grains one?
Yeah. Good old grains.
Alright, so I'm going to give the bottle a 2.25. Cut it down just a tiny bit because it is not my favorite bottle. So that would bring my score up to a 74.
Whew. I think that's accurate. You were a little disappointed with this, but I mean...
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed on my score. I thought I liked it a little bit more, but I opened it right when we bought it, and I was excited. I beat everyone at Monopoly.
Shut up.
Half a bottle in, I still beat y'all.
Okay, side note, so you don't have to do the notes above my head.
What?
The price of Blade and Bow 22 year continues to rise as the years go on. When it was first released in 2015, the price was $150. Just 3 years later, it nearly doubled to $250. In today's blooming marketplace, a 22-year-old bourbon selling for $250 should seem like a reasonable price. I wouldn't pay $250.
Well, I'm still going to put a note above your head and saying I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, you're not paying for that. No, thank you.
Oh, that.
Ouch.
Didn't know Blade and Bow's been around that long.
Yeah, well, a little bit of something, something.
So if it's 22 years, does that mean this is sourced? Or, I don't know, that's...
Okay, but if it's a Solera, dating back to 1992, I mean, it's progressing through, so maybe it's their same stuff, it's just...
Or whoever had the distillery before that, and then Diageo bought it. I don't know.
A lot of questions.
Yeah, we should have looked up a little bit more, I guess.
Some notes.
I'll just keep putting notes above your head.
You just keep putting them above my head right here.
Okay, that was the cover photo.
Okay, right
Yeah.
All right, so you're
Yeah,
happy
dork.
though. I think 74 is
74 is a
accurate.
good score.
I think
Nothing off-putting. I think if it was actually a little higher improved for maybe even cast strength, it'd probably be very good.
Well, maybe that's coming down the line for them.
Hopefully.
We'll see. There you have it.
There you have it.
So that wraps up this review. Leave a comment if you have tried this whiskey and let us know what you thought. Please like and share us to social media, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to leave a suggestion for our next review. Thanks for watching.